Hi guys, and welcome back to the Berry Hall Clinic. Well, we've got another classic gaming review for you. We're going to take a look at W-Wing on the PC Engine. So here we have W-Ring, the Double Rings. It was developed and published by Naxat Soft, was made available on the PC Engine, and was only released on the PC Engine in Japan. It never actually got released on the TurboGrafx 16, but it was released back in 1990, and it is a shooter. There's no real story with this one. You are just yet again a heavily armoured spacecraft fighting wave after wave of deadly enemies. And that's about it. So as usual, story, we're going to give it 8 out of 10. Audio. Well, this game comes with a fantastic soundtrack. Every stage has its own separate music, and every boss fight has its own separate music. So if you're into your chip music or electro sounds, this is certainly the game for you, and is utterly brilliant. As for the sound effects from the lasers, bombs, missiles, the wave and wave of attacking foes, it's absolutely spot on the way that you would expect it. And for that, this game gets a very easy 8 out of 10. Controls. Well, like most shooters, it's up, down, left, right and fire, and that's really it in a nutshell. But I've got a negative with this one. And that's with the controls. Unfortunately, the controls are far too sensitive. I found myself slamming the ship into a sidewall or an oncoming bullet almost from the start, and it really was starting to wind me up, to be quite honest. It's just a pity you can't tone down, or turn down rather, the sensitivity. But apart from that, it's pleasant enough, and it's just something you have to get used to. So for that, it gets 7 out of 10. Graphics. Well, the pixels themselves look absolutely fantastic. You know, the colours pop, everything looks lovely and detailed. The only negative is really that even though the stages are fantastically designed, they're just not original. You know, there's nothing original about the level design, unfortunately, and that's a real shame, but it's still got a lot going for itself, and for that I'll give it another 7 out of 10. Gameplay. Well, you've got 7 stages, and at the end of each stage you have got a boss fight, but bear in mind that each stage ups the ante and gets more difficult as the game goes on. The last stage is relatively short, but it is very, very difficult. The good news is, the end level boss, they will actually highlight the boss's weak spot to make it that little bit easier for you to take them out. To aid you in that, well, your ship can have 4 different weapon types. These can be upgraded. If you collect the correct colours more than one in a row, you really will ramp up the power of that particular weapon. Also, keep a lookout for the question marks. Those are special weapons. But for the gameplay, it gets 8 out of 10. Overall, well, this is a good enough shooter in some regards, but one of the things I certainly haven't mentioned is the EX. Just like you've got a question mark to alter your weapons to special format, you can actually pick up an EX which will actually change the stage altogether. This will actually make the stage's colours completely different, your weapons will react different. The stage is relatively shorter, but is also harder, so keep a lookout for that as well. Also, the game has a very unbalanced difficulty setting. Easy is just too simplistic, and hard is, well, it's just absolutely crazy difficult. And as you've seen, you get your ship all powered up, one hit will take you back to the basic weapons. This is a fantastic shoot 'em up in one regard, but in a sea of shoot 'em ups, it just comes up average. And for that, unfortunately, it gets 7.6 out of 10. Well, are you into your shooters? What do you think of W ring, the double rings? And look, the double rings, I don't get it. There's one ring I've spotted around my ship that's a protective shield, but there isn't two. So if anybody out there's got the answer to that one, please let me know. Also, you're about to see me enter the extra stage. I'll collect an ES at the top of the screen in a second. It'll go from blue to red. There you go. This is a fantastic game for the PC Engine, and I've got to be honest, I have thoroughly enjoyed playing it, but it doesn't stand out enough. It's got great level design, but it's no R-Type. Also, the enemy bullets, they blend in too well with the background at times, and before you know it, yep, you get taken out. That is infuriating. On the whole, I think this is an average shooter. But it's everyone to their own. Just because I think it's average, somebody out there might think it's fantastic. But I tell you what, there's not enough people talk about this game. So, potentially, future hidden gem? Yeah, I pretty much think so. So, get it, give it a bash, tell me what you think of it. Let me know your thoughts, please. Well, that's just about all I've got time for. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've certainly enjoyed bringing this to you as always. If you want to catch me on social media as well, you can. I'm on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. I'll put up the hashtags and the @s now for you. Drop me a comment, drop me a line, or just leave me a message at the bottom of this video and I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and I'll catch you all again. Take care.